You ready for my vocal warm-ups?
Do it, John. Let's hear it.
Ooh, 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 ah, ee, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh.
You can't tell because this is audio. An attractive woman just walked by. Interrupted John.
And my face turned into a coyote.
His
a
eyes
wolf, I
bulged
guess.
out of his head. He started hitting himself with a mallet.
Welcome to Bracket, the only show where we take a bunch of shit, face it off against another bunch of shit to see what the best shit really is. I'm your host, Cullen Jennings, and joining me today is John Abbott.
Hey, it's me. It's John. Man was the real monster all along.
And don't forget about Jesse Knowles.
It's alive. It's dead again.
Oh, God, no!
Man.
That's so much better than mine.
And Emmy-nominated creator of Metropolis and other stuff Greg's likes, Greg L. Mercer.
Hi, I'm Greg L. Mercer. I fought to get Rotwang and Dr. Tyrell on this list. Everybody else cut me off. They think I'm dumb and stupid.
I like.
So if you have problems with this list, blame them.
I had to ask who they were.
I don't air my grievances on the show.
I do.
What entries I wanted.
Well, it'd be cool if I could introduce anybody else. Come on,
No,
guys.
too late.
We've got returning this week for an actual episode, Alex Jaffe.
I hate that hedgehog.
That's good. That's good.
There we go.
It kind of sounds like I just played a Robotnik clip there and editing.
So,
Yes, the role of Alex Jaffe will be played by recycled Sonic the Hedgehog clips from
Exactly.
the Saturday morning cartoon.
there we go. All right, well, this week we're going to be doing the 16 best mad scientists. So I'm going to jump right into it. We've got Rick Sanchez versus Dr. Wily, Pearl Forrester versus, Nikola Tesla and Doc Brown versus Egon Spengler, Dr. Frankenstein versus Dexter, Baxter Stockman versus Lex Luthor, Rusty Venture versus Dr. Frank Infurter, Princess Bubblegum versus Bunsen Honeydew, and Professor Farnsworth versus Dr. Eggman, which is our anime entry of the week. I didn't roll for Hot Seat because I don't have my phone.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I got y'all.
So,
This is it. This is a live on-air hot seat rolling, everybody.
let's see.
Bracket reacts to hot seat picking.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Right.
Boy.
Thanks, guys. Check out our
Hey,
Patreon.
John, you're in the hot seat.
Jesus, mother.
John was in the hot seat last time.
Yeah, I think it's been 2
Do we
weeks in a
want
row.
to? Do we want to institute a no?
2 week, I think.
2 weeks in a row means you're not.
I don't like anything that tampers with pure randomness.
It's been a while. I'm in the hot seat.
Oh, okay.
I like that. That sounds good to me.
All right. So, in round 1, we've got Rick Sanchez versus Dr. Wily. Anyone care to take a stab at it?
Woof. Well, I mean, Rick Sanchez is all about encompassing all these other guys, you know?
Yeah,
he's
he's-
the mad scientist. He's the guy who's a commentary on all the other ones. These guys are idiots and assholes. I'm the best, and here's why.
And he's kind of a complicated person. Like, there's definitely good things about Rick Sanchez, but he's mostly kind of false. Like, he's got a lot of shitty things happening.
Has he ever made a robot, though?
Yeah, he made that one.
But like a good robot. Like a robot
you don't think that little robot that got him butter was a good
like
robot?
a robot that means business.
The little robot meant to get butter. That was his whole thing.
I feel like I'm going to be the only one who's pushing for Dr. Wily, understandably. So I'll just go ahead and get his whole story out of the way.
Sure.
He was the assistant to Dr. Light. They made a bunch of robots in service of, basically community service robots. Light did something Wily didn't like. Wily broke off from Light, repurposed a bunch of them to attack the city. Long story short, if you follow the Mega Man timeline, he ends up like fucking ruining the human race because of it. It's
And they're
stupid.
called the Robot Masters.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Wily's whole motivation is that he's just mad at his former partner. That's it. Like, he's just a stupid,
bit
angry
much.
man.
But that's a more human thing than like, at least his goal is like, I'm gonna take over
Yeah, but
the
he,
world.
has,
It was like,
he doesn't have anyone else. All he does is to try to ruin his former friend's life.
It seems like a lot of work just to spite somebody.
Yeah, when Rick is all about, he'd rather just get drunk and crash something.
Rick's got a lot of, I mean, he's a nihilist with a lot of hedonist impulses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, one gets the impression that he may have had a Dr. Wily phase some while ago and is now well past it. He's outgrown that sort of ambitious mad
I don't know if he's
scientist.
grown in the right direction, but
He hasn't destroyed the human race yet. He had to just go to a different
That's
world.
true. That's true.
He just went to a different
yeah,
timeline.
Yeah, he did destroy the human race.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a Wiley vote because I know I am 100% confident Sanchez is going to take this.
We have had Rick Sanchez on the show personally.
Oh,
That's
yep.
true.
For
We
Best
have.
Sci-Fi Weapon, we had Justin Roiland, who
Wow.
is the voice of Rick Sanchez. So I'm going to vote for Rick Sanchez because I'm a brown noser.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to disappoint Greg, but I'm always going to go for Cronenberg monsters over robots.
Yeah, I get that.
So
I mean,
that's a Rick vote.
I go for robots over Cronenberg monsters, but still,
Seal that up. That's a Rick Sanchez vote for me.
John.
I really want to give one to Dr. Wiley, but I can't. I'm a Rick Sanchez vote.
That's okay. Rick is the better character.
All right.
That's an easy round one.
And Rick Sanchez knocks out Dr. Wiley 4-1. We got Pearl Forrester versus Nikolai Tesla.
So Pearl Forrester is the mother of Dr. Forrester on Mystery Science Theater 3000, a mad scientist in her own right, devoted to, there's an ice cream. Yep,
We
that's
have an ice
going
cream
in.
truck out here, so.
Sort of the mad
It's
scientist
alive.
of Los Angeles.
Right. Pearl Forrester is the mother of Dr. Forrester. She is a mad scientist in her own right. Tortures Mike. It was Mike by that point,
Yes.
right? Makes him watch bad movies. The worst we can find.
I
So,
knew Pearl Forrester before I knew Dr. Forrester.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
started.
you started
I started with Mike and went back to
I
Joel.
kind of prefer Pearl. Mystery Science Theater fans love Dr. Forrester and TV's Frank, which understandably,
Sure.
but when Pearl gets Bobo and Brain Guy,
Bobo and
And
Frank
like-
are pretty
Frank
good.
Guy's the guy with the bald, white, pasty man with the
Yeah,
hood, right?
yeah.
He's played by Bill Corbett, who's the voice of Crow.
yes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Bobo and Brain Guy rule, and and having this having this condescending, angry mom character makes so much sense with the robots and Mike because they're all just kids, they're just kids, constantly
They need to be
annoying
kept in line.
and,
Yeah.
One of these
there's
had an
something-
earthquake machine.
But there's not a car named after Pearl Forrester.
That's true.
Can
Tesla.
Yeah.
Go
Possibly
ahead.
say something sacrilegious?
Absolutely not.
Too bad. I'm going to do it anyway. I've been really getting into riff tracks lately.
Yeah,
okay.
The stuff that the later cast of Mystery Science Theater does on their own, where they do the audio tracks for popular movies, and comparing them with the old Mystery Science Theaters, that sci-fi framing device didn't really add much to it. If you take that away, it's still just
I
as good.
definitely didn't watch Mystery Science Theater for that framing.
Right.
I
So-
kind of
so-
did.
I did too. I was full.
Yeah.
For
No,
me,
yeah.
To me, the Pearl segments are just get to the movie already. She represented everything I was didn't
That
want to
doesn't mean
watch
she's
that
not
show.
a fun character.
So the skits weren't always winners, that's for sure.
Well,
But
not
I think-
every Mystery Science Theater
Well, that-
3000
yeah.
skit was winners. Yeah.
But I think that the Satellite of Love is just this real fun, hangoutable place.
I would have never caught on to Mystery Science Theater had it not been for the setup and the
Wow.
setting. Because as a kid watching it, I was interested because of the robot puppets and the cool handmade
Yeah,
way everything
the-
looked
the
like.
sets.
That's what sold
Granted.
me
Really?
on the show.
No, I was 100%. I just saw that there were people making fun of a bad movie on TV, and I grew up on that, watching that Saturday mornings with my dad. And I mean, if I don't know, the skits aren't bad. They're definitely not a bad part of Mystery Science Theater. But if you're not used to them,
But Tesla's
Right.
Tesla's the hip.
He's a real man.
scientist.
Yeah.
to like.
Yeah,
right?
that's a good thing
Guy
to
on
point
this
out.
list.
He's a human being. Tesla is sort of history's underdog that we've sort of come around to in the 21st century.
He was shunned for a long ass time.
He was
Yes,
played
yes.
by David Bowie in
true.
The Prestige.
yes, he
He
was.
was indeed.
Was that David Bowie's last film role? I think it was.
I mean-
depends on what you consider a film role. Tesla went up against Edison in the fight to basically give electricity to the world. Edison was alternating current. Tesla was direct current. Is that right? Everybody's just kind of
Yeah.
shrugging. Who gives
No,
a shit?
Tesla was alternating current.
Okay, there you go. And Edison basically won, quote unquote, he was the one who provided electricity to a majority of the planet, but used a lot of underhanded tactics to make that happen. Far more of a businessman, where Tesla was far more of a scientist. Tesla famously, supposedly, worked on a death ray. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But he's sort of become like a thing like steampunk, and he's just something that shows up in a lot of settings, and is a little played out.
He feels like, and this is by no fault of Tesla, but he feels like people latch onto him in order to prove that they're smarter than...
Well, here's the fact of the matter. Tesla coils are cool.
They
That's
are.
very
They absolutely
true.
are.
Tesla coils
Yeah.
are coils
I think
are
Tesla
really cool.
cars are cool.
That
That
got
new
no
one
problem
doesn't
with-
have a grill.
I have no problem
That's
with
awesome.
anything with Tesla.
It's nuts.
Jesse, I need a vote.
Oh yeah, you do, don't you?
I
I'm a Pearl Force vote.
Pearl Forrester? I'm going Pearl as well. I
Wow.
love Pearl.
I'm Tesla. I just think that a real scientist, a real mad scientist deserves a spot
Yeah,
in the quarterfinals.
Again, one of these made an earthquake machine. I am in on the earthquake machine. I'm a Tesla vote.
John,
Yeah.
it is down to you.
Also, one of the best jokes on the new Dan Harmon show on that episode with Thomas Edison
that's true.
is
That's a good
a
one.
really good Tesla joke. So
Yeah, Dan Harmon has a show where he
Nicky,
brings
he called him.
people from the past to the future, and he takes Thomas Edison for a ride in the car. He goes, "What do they call this thing?" He's like, "It's a Tesla."
He's very upset.
So I was considering making it was a tougher decision than I thought it would be. I was considering making a very long-winded, like, this is why I'm picking this. I'm sorry I'm not picking this. But instead, I'll just say, drink it up, haters. I'm voting for Pearl Forrester.
God damn it.
I don't know if there's any
This
haters.
is the
there.
worst show. Why do I keep coming back?
Pearl Forrester knocks out Nikola Tesla 3-2. Doc Brown versus Egon Spangler.
Ooh, Battle
Two
of the
really
80
good,
Stars.
like lighthearted 80s sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let me ask you guys something. Like, the last time I saw anything to do with Back to the Future, I kind of just feel like Doc Brown makes me, like, sad now. There's something...
No
there's
way,
a,
I love Doc Brown.
There's a quality about that character that makes me think, oh no. I don't know what it is, but
That man has been through a lot of stuff.
it feels like he has had a really horrible life that the movie
He's
doesn't ever really touch
always
on.
trying his hardest.
Well, he
He's
only
just
gets a
always
happy
on the
ending.
bleeding edge.
He gets a
Like,
happy
his entire
ending.
life is one long panic.
But his happy
I
ending
can relate to
is
that.
that he ends up in the Wild West.
Yeah,
What?
Like that's Doc Brown's happy ending. He doesn't even end up in the future or even modern day. He's just, I want to live with some horses and some trains. I'm cool with this. I got me a lady.
His happy ending is that he flies a train through time.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I guess. Egon Spangler, however, created a holding device for evil ass spirits.
Let me ask you something. It is something I'm going to be diving into more with some of these other entries, but like, I feel like we're pushing the envelope here on mad scientists. Like, I feel like Egon Spangler is actually a very practical human being.
Sure, but he was doing exactly what Doc Brown was doing. Something that he was messing
But
with.
Doc Brown
like,
at least has that unhinged quality.
I mean, one
They
man
built
time
proton
machine. Yeah,
packs.
they built ghost guns.
Yeah,
Come
they
on.
built ghost guns that also were basically nuclear reactors. And the only way to stop the giant thing they were fighting was to set off a nuclear reaction.
Would you say that Ray Stantz is more of a mad scientist than Egon Spangler?
Maybe.
Maybe a little bit. He's more on the belief of ghost on that level than it is necessarily the builder. So
Let's go to the classic standby. Who'd you rather kiss?
Egon.
Exactly. That's what I think so too.
No way.
One-
I'd definitely rather kiss Doc.
Oof.
Egon's got the hair.
I don't know if Doc Brown brushes his teeth.
Doc Brown needs a kiss.
he doesn't. He's in the past now. It don't matter.
Yeah, they ain't got toothbrushes.
Yeah,
Egon Spangler, he's got Janine Melnitz.
Yeah. Janine rules.
You don't have to worry about Egon.
He's doing fine.
Well,
fine.
Janine didn't end up with Egon, everybody. She
I
ended
think
up with
it's
Rick.
a lot harder to travel through time than to catch ghosts.
Well,
Yeah.
I love Doc Brown. I love Egon. I love them for different reasons, but like out of respect for Harold Ramis, I got to vote Egon.
easy Egon vote. This isn't like he built a trap to contain spirits that we didn't even know existed.
You know, I'm swinging over to Doc Brown because
Okay.
I would rather meet him and go travel through time than meet Egon and have to face the reality that ghosts are real.
Oh, I'd absolutely meet Egon
Plus,
and meet a
I
Ghost.
didn't
Feel
consider
good.
that.
But he has a trap. You're good.
Hey, sometimes other.
If I get to hang
shake
out
up
with
a Ghostbuster.
Egon and hang out with some ghosts, yeah, done.
But
So I don't need to go travel through time.
You get slimed
I
every
don't
day
wanna
on the
get
job
slimed by
there.
the ghost
Like,
of John Belushi.
Oh, okay. So you'd rather go in time, touch one thing, screw it up,
yes,
and ruin
not
everything.
my problem.
Yeah,
not
you're
my
right.
problem.
Alex, where is your?
I want to go back and see what I changed, and then go back again and just fuck with time forever.
Oh,
It's gonna be the best.
Oh my god.
Are you a Doc Brown vote?
I'm
You're gonna
definitely
erase
a Doc
your
Brown
own
vote.
existence.
It's 2-2. It's down to me. Man, everybody's raised good points, and now like I don't want to do either of these because it seems like so much work on both sides. Like I'm gonna accidentally end up being my own grandpa or something. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to fight ghosts because that changes all my perceptions about life.
Anything you mess up with time travel, you just travel back and fix it.
So
Yeah,
the
it
one
worked,
thing,
it worked for Marty.
yeah, but I mean, look at like.
He had to kiss his mom.
There's a lot of dudes who end up getting stuck in the
to
time
or
stream
got
and
to.
stuff. One thing we haven't brought up, I don't know if this influences anything. What about them new Lady Ghostbusters?
We don't know.
It's an unknown quantity at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it
don't
is an
know
unknown
enough
quantity.
to.
No, I think that gives it an edge in Doc Brown's favor because we know for a fact that we're never going to see another Back to the Future. It's done.
So you're
It's
saying-
So we know that. So
I
they
disagree,
They
yeah.
made a Telltale made a Back to the Future sequel. Like,
The implication being that Egon is replaceable while Doc Brown is not. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Wow. Well, one of them's dead.
there will
That's
be a Back
fucked
to the
up.
Future reboot, and I would bet a lot of money on that.
They gotta
I
go
don't
back
think so.
to the Back
I think
to the
I think it's
Future.
untouchable.
Gosh, this is really tough. I don't know.
I will show you the picture of me as Egon Spengler as a kindergartner dressed up for Halloween.
I was at the movie theater on November whatever to watch the Back to the Future trilogy when the day happened in 2015. I
You
was
know
there.
what? I'm sorry. I think Doc Brown is a better mad scientist. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
exactly,
Doc Brown.
thank you.
That's fine. It's wrong, but it's fine.
I'm sorry. That's a tough one, everybody.
I'll never show you that picture now, friend. Doc Brown knocks out Egon Spengler 3-2. You got Dr. Frankenstein versus Dexter.
Okay, the
Of
thing
Dexter's
about Dr.
Lab.
Frankenstein that I
We
wanted to
know.
get off my chest for a while.
Sure.
Have you read that book?
I
In
was
high school?
assigned that book.
Yeah.
Have you read that? He spends that entire book trying to bone his sister.
Yep.
That is true.
It was a different time.
Yeah, but that's most books.
It was.
So I
Right?
guess
Yeah.
this is a match of complicated relationships with your sister.
One is gonna wreck all of your shit.
So, like, again, Dexter definitely has, like, fits of madness, I think. But mostly, he just wants to build, like, cool technology, cool big robots. Like,
What's his name is the mad
Mandark is more
yeah.
of the, like, going where
Mandark and
man
Dexter
should
are
not.
basically the same
Yeah,
guy.
I think the only reason Dexter gets insane is because of
I think, well, like, Mandark,
well,
Mandark is an
yes.
agent of chaos.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Dexter is just like, I want to build the best stuff. And it all like, I don't know. I think Dexter has his moments
Yeah.
of madness, but
I think Dexter and Mandark occupy the same spot on the alignment chart. It's just that we sympathize with Dexter because it's Dexter's laboratory, not Mandark's laboratory.
Sure.
Dr.
Mandark's-
Frankenstein made a man.
That's true.
Out of dead man.
Dexter ain't done that.
I mean, it sounds to me like Dr. Frankenstein is the bigger mad scientist. I mean, he's trying.
He's the
trying
progenitor.
to own his
He's-
sister.
He's the guy.
He had a great sidekick named Igor.
Had Igor. The cool thing about Frankenstein to me is that Mary Shelley was trapped in a house with two goddarn psychopaths, and it was like, the only way I'm going to survive this summer retreat is by writing a book and avoiding both of you forever. One of which was her husband, the other of which was Oscar Wilde.
Yes.
So,
Yes, but Dexter also launched the career of Jendy Tartakovsky, who gave us Samurai Jack.
Sure.
and then
sure.
Clone Wars.
And Dexter
Yeah, and
still
Clone
holds
Wars.
up. There's
But we got Frankenhole.
We got
That's true.
Frankenhole,
Mary Shelley's Frankenhole really good.
which is a beloved show.
Criminally underrated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dexter got that, like, short-lived reboot that was really bad.
It was
Oh, that was really bad.
It was really
It was
bad.
really
But
bad.
don't pretend there hasn't been bad
The man... the-
Bad Frankenstein movie came out last year.
Little
Hey.
fact.
It wasn't even fun to watch.
The man...
Yeah, I Frankenstein? Like,
Yeah.
people don't even make jokes about I Frankenstein.
Yeah.
The man who helmed the Dexter reboot is the man who went on to create Johnny Test. In case you were curious.
I was.
The actual the
feel-
sisters are based. The sisters on Johnny Test are based off of Dexter. So
Can we
I
just
feel-
call Johnny Test shitty Dexter?
I think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kind of shitty Dexter.
Yeah.
Dr. Frankenstein. I actually grew, instead of growing up on the regular Frankenstein story, I think I just watched Young Frankenstein over and over.
Which rules?
It's
Yeah,
a great
Young
movie.
Frankenstein's
great.
perfect.
Might be
I mean-
Mel Blanc's best movie.
I
Maybe.
never understood why people think Young Frankenstein is Mel Brooks' best movie.
Mostly because it's super funny and good and has Gene Wilder in it and is a perfect film.
You're forgetting the existence of Robin Hood Men in Tights.
It's not as good. Sorry.
Robin Hood Men in Tights is the best Robin Hood movie and the
You're not
best
wrong.
Mel Brooks movie.
I'll settle this whole thing. Not a big Mel Brooks fan.
Okay, well, you're not Jewish.
Mel Brooks.
I'm with you.
Is near and dear
I'm
in my
with you,
heart.
Jeff.
I could quote entire episodes of Dexter as a kid. I gotta vote Dexter.
Yeah, gotta go for the omelette du fromage.
I'm definitely going Dr. Frankenstein.
I'm Frankenstein.
Oh, God, no, I don't want to break this.
I was just talking about Frankenstein walking all funny the other night.
Exactly.
Like, again, he made a man.
There was that.
man.
There's that
Frankenstein
really
wanted to
good.
bone his sister. I
Chip
can't get
Zdarsky
behind
had that really, really good tweet where he wrote in at the end of a Frankenstein book, and he's like, "Actually, by the way, if you call me Frankenstein, that's okay. I don't mind."
Can I vote Chip Zdarsky as best mad scientist?
Yeah, I like that.
This is very tough. Dexter may be a show that is responsible for launching Cartoon Network as a channel.
Mhm.
So,
Sure,
like,
that and Powerpuff Girls. I
but
would
Powerpuff
say.
Girls came later.
Yeah, it was
like,
later.
But you could also argue that Frankenstein is responsible for launching science fiction as a
That's
genre.
true. There might not be a Dexter without that.
There might not be.
Yeah. Man.
To lose Frank, as much as I love Dexter,
If you can tell me what the most fucked up thing Dexter ever made is. I need to weigh it against making a man.
Monkey.
I don't think he made.
I
He
don't
didn't,
know
he
if
didn't make
Monkey's
monkey. He
fucked
just
up.
gave monkey intelligence.
That's fucked up.
That's not that fucked up.
That's yes, it is. You saw what happens in this movie.
All right,
Dexter
all right,
fought
all right.
alongside 3 other versions of himself at different points in his life.
That's not that fucked
Oh
up.
man.
I need a vote.
Oh, what a bunch of garbage.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that was some hot garbage.
Oh,
Ego Trip.
I love Ego Trip.
That movie does not hold up.
I need a
I ain't
vote.
seen it forever.
I think both of these should move on.
Only one can, John.
And people are gonna be mad at me. Because I'm gonna fall back onto the reliable way to vote. I'm a man who draws. Let me vote for the drawing. Dexter gets my vote.
There it is.
I'm not happy about it. I didn't want.
John just wants to betray me at every
I didn't want to
corner.
break this tie. I tried to get in my vote before you.
I'm glad. I'm
Dr. Frankenstein gets knocked out by Dexter 3-2. We got Baxter Stockman versus Lex Luthor.
Sell me
ahead.
on Baxter Stockman.
Well, go ahead and give me a Lex Luthor so I can rant about Baxter Stockman.
Well, no, you do Baxter Stockman first because
Baxter Stockman is a scientist and a villain on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. From the beginning, he was a scientist that basically wanted to work in mutagen. That's all he wanted to. He was a scientist. That's what he did.
that's the field I want to specialize in as well, is mutagen.
In that world it exists, Greg. So anyway,
I got mutagen 203 at 3 o'clock, so I gotta get going.
to be fair, he was just a scientist before that. Then that's the field he went to. So anyway, needless to say, in different versions of it, the canister breaks. He gets exposed to mutagen and a fly. It's a whole homage to the fly. Like it's just straight up homage to the fly, where the scientist then goes absolutely batshit crazy and turns into a man fly, who can spit acid balls and various other things. And in the original Ninja Turtles, it's a little more sillier. So he's got weapons, he's got giant fly swatters, he's got dumb things like that. However, in the new version, we know that he is in the new movie. As a scientist, we do not know if he's a fly monster, but he is being portrayed by Medea himself.
Yes,
true.
Tyler Perry is playing Baxter Stockman and looks incredible.
That's who that is.
That movie is going to be absolutely bonkers.
Yes,
but
there's consensus consensus in the house that the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So
The thing about Baxter Stockman is that every single adaptation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of competes with each other to see who can do the most messed up thing to Baxter Stockman.
He's gotten like weirder and weirder and more fucked up. And this time, he like in the current cartoon, the one on Nickelodeon, which is really great.
I would say pretty great.
I would say really. I think it's fantastic.
I like David Tennant this season. That was
yes. But yeah, like that Baxter Stockman is really great, and him teaming up with everybody. He always teams up also with like the bad guy just to get an upper hand because he wants something better. He's a Lex Luthor type of character at that level.
So speaking of Lex Luthor, obviously, most famous iteration, Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor.
Sure.
Right.
Alexander, you're right. That's the actual son of Lex Luthor.
Not indicative at all of what Lex Luthor was prior, right? Like,
No, that's pretty spot on. I don't think anyone's really nailed the essence so well as Jesse Eisenberg.
Can we? Can we talk about Gene Hackman though? Can we talk about how Gene Hackman is the greatest superhero movie villain of all time?
We can talk about Gene Hackman. We can talk about Kevin Spacey.
Yes, that's all I'm gonna say. Where's Kevin Spacey talk? Because he ruled in that.
Kevin Spacey was really
best
good
part of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How excited do you get when you hear Kevin Spacey's going to be Lex Luthor? Lex is a super complicated, super cool guy. My personal favorite iteration of Lex Luthor, I mean, fuck Mark Miller, but Red Sun is really good because it's Lex basically as this. It's not a xenophobia thing. It comes down to his genuine beliefs, which are usually presented as like Superman holds humanity back from becoming Superman. If we have Superman, we get lazy and rely on him, whereas if we don't, we have to stand up for ourselves, which is an interesting way to go with that. Lex is a complex, deep character.
That sounds like a great villain. I'm sorry that I had to see Jesse Eisenberg's version of it.
Can I tell you the origin of Lex Luthor outside of the comics?
Please do.
All right. So Jerry Siegel, who was the writer of Superman, his father was killed in a bank robbery when he tried to jump the bank robbers and get everybody to safety. And a little while after that, he created this bulletproof superhero. And somebody wrote into the local paper saying that his father shouldn't have done that, and he's creating a bad example for people, and nobody should try to be a hero in that situation, or they'll just encourage people getting themselves killed. And that guy's name was Lex Luthor.
Wow, that's spiteful.
That's
love it.
shit. Wow, yeah, that's pretty great. Yeah.
Jesse, I need a vote.
Oh, you do need a vote from me.
I do. That is how this show works.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see this new Turtles movie. I want to be all in on Turtles, but I'm not yet. And from the sound of it, I like Lex Luthor, so I'm going to vote Lex Luthor.
Baxter Stockman, hands down. He's a giant fly monster man.
I shouldn't even be close to deciding this vote because neither one of these are characters that I'm like all about in any big way.
John votes Lex Luthor.
I was going to vote Baxter Stockman.
Well, I just assumed you were going to stab me in the back.
Because he becomes a fly man.
Okay. Well, then we're good.
Heady episode.
I'm voting Lex Luthor. I love Baxter Stockman, but Lex Luthor is the perfect superhero villain. He's like the only guy who could possibly stand up to everything Superman is. Like people who say Superman is boring because he's too powerful, they don't get into the fact that it's about Superman trying to find his place in the world. And Lex Luthor represents everything that he's afraid of, and he's just kind of the perfect counterpoint to that, and I gotta give him the point.
Anybody listening who thinks Superman is boring because he's too powerful, maybe read something of him in a comic book someday and see, like, there's ways to tell stories that aren't about fighting. I'm a Lex Luthor.
Where else can I read about Superman besides a comic book?
I didn't mean about Superman. I mean read literally anything that isn't a comic book.
Oh.
Although if you are intent on reading a Superman comic book, I recommend Superman for all seasons.
Is also Mac Landis' American Alien run.
Yes.
Yes, that's also really good.
Lex Luthor knocks out Baxter Stockman 3-2. We've got Rusty Venture versus Dr. Frankenfurter.
So, I have a confession.
Yes.
I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
You should tell them that when you go to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Because they'll set you up right.
And we definitely will be going to
really?
that.
Yes.
Oh man, Man, that'd
Not
be great.
missing much. You're really not missing much.
I don't imagine a movie's going to be like the super best thing
I
in the
think
world.
you should
but
see
it's
it.
an
Is my
experience.
thing.
You go to see with fans.
Shitty, campy movies. And
I want to get something out here very quickly. Rusty Venture, by definition, is not a mad scientist.
He's a
built-
super
He's a
scientist.
super scientist. If he was a mad scientist, he would be with the Guild of Calamitous Intent. But instead, he's under protection of OSI. He's a super scientist.
well, you may remember he was courted for that very reason.
Right,
He's
but-
strapped the line.
I think Rusty Venture is not a mad scientist. The only time Rusty Venture ever makes anything is to make money. He doesn't have any purposes besides financial. Like
Same with Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say.
No,
like,
Lex Luthor wants to take down Superman.
but by making money in the end.
We should
No.
point out for people
Lex
who aren't
Luthor-
familiar.
Lex Luthor will hemorrhage money if it means embarrassment.
That's true.
Sure.
We should point out for people who aren't familiar, Rusty Venture from the Venture Brothers. Go watch it. It's great. Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I love Rusty Venture. I think he's one of the best characters on that show, in a show of best characters, but I still think he's a mad scientist.
I think he
Hell,
is.
we have an episode in season 4, maybe 5, where Brock and Shoreleave take down a legitimate mad scientist who's operating outside of the bounds of the guild or OSI. It's a guy who's making a dirty bomb.
I
Yeah.
don't remember this.
And
This was back in the Sphinx days.
yeah.
Oh,
Sphinx.
okay. Yeah, I remember this now.
And I just don't think, even in the world that they've established who is what, Rusty Venture's not a mad scientist. He's too incompetent also. He's barely a scientist.
So let's discuss Dr. Frankenfurter. Dr. Frankenfurter is Tim Curry, played by Tim Curry, and actually Tim Curry.
Yes.
Bright red lipstick, big puffy hair, wears a corset, fishnets, heels, invents a man, much like
Makes-
Dr. Frankenstein.
Makes a man.
In just 7 days and 7 nights, I can make you a man.
Kills Meatloaf.
That's true.
See,
Kills
and that's
Meatloaf.
already strike
Spoilers,
there.
Jesse.
You don't spoil the
Mr.
movie
Cutoff.
for me.
Here's the thing. Rusty Venture never killed Meatloaf.
Jesse, where is your vote?
I mean, this is a little unfair because I want to like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I think you will. I
And
genuinely think you'll enjoy
I'll
it.
probably have a blast when I go to the show and talk with fans about it. But I haven't seen it, and I have seen Venture Brothers, and I like Rusty Venture. So don't hold it against me. I'm a Rusty Venture vote.
Can I talk about Tim Curry role that's way better than Dr. Frankenfurter?
Is it the
Absolutely
devil?
No, it's not the devil. A little while ago, a couple years ago rather, I endeavored to watch as many of the Disney animated sequels as I could gather the fortitude to do.
Wow.
And in one of them, a sequel to Beauty and the Beast, a Christmas special, which actually takes place during... Yes, a Beauty and the Beast Christmas special, which takes place during the montage where they're getting to know each other. Tim Curry is introduced as a pipe organ, and he's trying to break them apart because he just wants to be a pipe organ forever. He loves being a pipe organ so much.
You know what? Who wouldn't?
Right. Like,
How amazing must
yeah.
it be?
either he his choice is become a man or live forever as a pipe organ.
When you present it like that, I don't know if I can turn it down.
Right. So, and that's my favorite Tim Curry role. I recommend that movie to anybody who wants to see an axe that speaks with a Jewish accent.
Totally get that.
Yeah, he's just like protesting about chopping down Christmas trees. That's a thing.
my
I'm not
God.
sure about the subtext on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I recommend Belle's Enchanted Christmas, and I vote for Rusty Venture.
That's 2 for Venture.
I vote for Rusty Venture
I
a
get
lot.
it. Rusty Venture rules, but he's not a good mad scientist. I'm a Frankenfurter vote.
I'm a Frankenfurter vote as well. I think Tim Curry looks really good in that movie, and I would invent Rocky too. My good.
Okay. Rusty Venture knocks out Dr. Frankenfurter 3-2. Princess Bubblegum versus Bunsen Honeydew.
Dr. Bunsen Honeydew.
What a matchup.
Well, everyone's mad.
This is a tough one.
Do you think Dr. Bunsen Honeydew smells like honeydew?
Yes.
He looks like it.
I think he
probably really
has
sweet
the
smelling.
texture of honeydew.
Yeah.
I think if you kissed Bunsen Honeydew, it would be like kissing a honeydew.
I'll be right back.
I'll tell you this, bubblegum very definitely has the texture and flavor of bubble.
Yes.
Yes.
Peppermint Butler versus Beaker.
Oh, that's tough.
That's
No.
tough as
Oh,
well.
I'm definitely going Beaker over.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was not
Oh,
tough.
you know what? I think I'm Pet Bud.
Pet Bud's like really good.
He's a great
Beaker?
character.
Beaker's great too. I'm just saying it's tough.
Beaker
Beaker gets
funny.
shit on the show.
Beaker's kind of a one-note joke, whereas Peppermint Butler's whole thing is that, like, he's the unassuming butler who also practices dark magic and communes with the devil.
I love Peppermint Butler, but one of these is Seamus's cousin. So, in canon. So,
Okay. Sheamus the wrestler.
yeah.
And both of these, like, definitely solid mad scientists. Both of them are constantly making stuff that they have no reason to make other than, let's see if I can do this.
Honeydew's doing it, and it usually ends up just absolutely ridiculous. Bubblegum sometimes being a little spiteful with some of her shit.
Yes, because she rules the Candy Kingdom
Yeah.
with an iron fist. Yeah, it's tough.
Like, and then that's the thing is that Bubblegum way more interesting as a mad scientist character than a ruler princess kind of
I agree.
character.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that Princess Bubblegum is a great character, but I've pointed this out before many times. I've only ever seen the first season of Adventure Time, and I have no emotional attachment to that show. And I like the Muppets. I'm going to be a Honeydew vote.
I gotta go Princess Bubblegum. I think I could go on for how much I like Princess Bubblegum.
So let me jump in real quick here. It's obvious we have a lot of affection for both these series. We have Adventure Time and Adventure Time entries of won brackets many a time.
We've had a Best Muppets.
Exactly. That's the other thing. We've had a Best Muppets. We
Won
love
Best
the Muppets. Kermit. And that's sort of a point of contention.
Lame.
Yes, we know. With the exception of possibly Nikolai Tesla, Princess Bubblegum is the only scientist on this list who practices proper lab safety by wearing goggles.
That's true.
You're not
Well,
wrong.
I am a Bubblegum vote.
Hold on real quick. Bunsen Honeydew always got glasses on.
Glasses are not goggles.
Okay,
Trust
fair
me,
enough.
I have had to be
But he
aware.
doesn't have eyes either.
Yeah, he don't have eyes.
He doesn't have eyes.
That sounds even more dangerous.
I'm a bubblegum vote.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
I really didn't see that coming.
The thing about Bunsen Honeydew is, while I had a lot of affection for Bunsen and Beaker as a kid, now they just remind me of the guys from Penny Arcade. So I gotta go with that.
Bubblegum it is.
Oh, I'm so happy. I didn't expect this at all. I'm thrilled.
Princess Bubblegum knocks out Bunsen Honeydew 4-1. Last one of round one, Professor Farnsworth versus Dr. Eggman, the anime entry of the week.
Hubert J. Farnsworth.
Yes,
Right.
yes. The easy part was getting the brain out, but the hard part was getting the brain out.
One of the few people on this list who's a self-admitted mad scientist.
Yes.
Dr. Eggman is only a self-admitted feminist.
That's true.
That is true.
Famously from the hit anime Sonic X.
Yes,
Woof.
Hit anime Sonic Boom. He's great in that.
right.
He is really
Sonic-
great.
I don't know if it's really great.
I've watched a lot more Sonic Boom than
Sonic
you have.
Boom. Sonic Boom is pretty good.
It's not bad. It's really not. John's
Look,
really
when it
against
comes
it.
to, when it
but
comes to Sonic, pretty good is kind of like
John,
it's better than most of the games.
exactly. Let's settle.
Sonic Boom has good jokes in it, but it is not a good show.
Oh no, there's
I
definitely
kinda
bad things
disagree.
about it.
Well, the bad things, a lot of bad things. There are no bad episodes of Futurama.
That
no
is-
bad episodes.
The new
There are okay episodes.
the new era
No,
Comedy Central
that Dark
episodes
Cats episode.
get bad.
like
They're
it.
bad
I like it.
Futurama.
I like it. I don't care. They're all good.
I don't think most of those movies they put out were very good.
They were better chopped up,
That,
but
like Dungeons and Dragons one was terrible.
That one's bad too.
y'all can keep talking shit. But there's a lot more worse Sonic games. Okay?
Good news, everyone. Professor Farnsworth's great in every episode.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Farnsworth has never been bad.
It's Fry's great
So-
great nephew. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So okay, when Eggman was called Robotnik, his whole motivation was that he was trying to turn all the animals into robots. Is that what's going
He
on?
wanted everything to be machines. He wanted.
I get it. Trust me, I'm right there with you, brother.
Yeah, that's
And I think his motivation was always taking over the world. I think
Okay.
he wanted to rule the world, and
Is that
he
the same with
wanted it to
Eggman?
all be machines.
Eggman
And-
wants the Chaos Emeralds.
Well, yeah. So then Sonic 3, he wants the Chaos Emeralds because that's the thing is that Eggman drops his believing in the science he practices thing very quickly and immediately embraces mysticism. It's like I'm gonna get these magic emeralds, and
It
then
sounds like a
There's this
great mad
hedgehog that can run
scientist to
faster
me.
than anything I can build.
I just think Eggman's lame. I think, like, every iteration,
You try living with a body like that.
I was gonna say, I loved him little legs.
let me ask you this. What's the greatest thing Professor Farnsworth ever invented? Obviously, smell.
No, the Finglonger.
The Finglonger is probably the best invention.
Right, the Finglonger. What's the best thing Dr. Eggman ever invented? 2 words, metal Sonic.
Well,
Boom,
in
it's clear.
the Archie comics, he turns Sonic's Uncle Chuck into a robot.
I had that episode on VHS. I was real
Don't
sad.
spoil it for him. Jesse, I need a vote.
Professor Farnsworth has Pazuzu.
Dr. Eggman has that chicken robot.
So there's Scratch and Grounder from
there
one
you
series.
go.
From the other series, there's Snively.
There's always a
Snively.
different, sidekick. Yeah.
He's got metal Sonic. That's game set match to me. Sonic the Hedgehog, except he's also a robot? Boom, I'm in. That's all you gotta say to me.
And that
I'll sleep in whatever bed you want me to.
What does that mean?
Don't worry about it.
Like a race car bed?
Robotnik told him to.
Jesse, I need a vote.
You know, there was a time when I thought when he was Robotnik, he was actually kind of a menacing villain.
Well, he had no personality then.
He was just a villain, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote Eggman.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote Farnsworth, if only to spite Wernstrom.
Yeah.
Wernstrom.
I'm going Eggman for obvious reasons. I want him to robotize me.
Is Farnsworth a feminist?
We don't know.
We know that he's very old.
He's into nudity.
Yes.
He does love him some nudity.
If you got to put up with Zoidberg, you can put up with a lot of shit.
Sure.
I'm going to be a Farnsworth vote.
It's 2-2.
Wow.
Comes down to me.
Yeah.
The Sonic the Hedgehog correspondent of Bracket.
And the anime entry, John.
And the anime correspondent of Bracket. It's a Farnsworth vote. Easy. No question. It's a Farnsworth is great.
All right, there we go.
So Farnsworth knocks out Dr. Eggman 3-2.
That's round 1, baby.
There we go. We got round 2. Rick Sanchez versus Pearl Forrester. Doc Brown versus Dexter. Lex Luthor versus Rusty Venture. And Princess Bubblegum versus Professor Farnsworth. So,
this is getting tough.
Sanchez, Pearl, go.
Not yet, though, because Sanchez is the obvious winner here.
Yeah, I mean...
It's cool that Pearl made it this far.
Right.
Pearl rules.
I'll be a little surprised if Rick doesn't make it to the finals. I'm a Rick vote.
I'm a Rick vote.
I'm going Pearl because I think it's obvious.
Watch Rick and Morty, you guys.
Watch Mystery Science Theater.
Don't worry, everybody's already watching.
Yeah, everybody
Rick and
already.
Morty.
Yeah.
Everybody watching both.
Nobody listening to this is not watching.
That's
Rick and
true.
Morty.
You're right.
Yeah, and if you're not, then don't listen to this. Watch that instead.
Yeah,
True.
I'm not even gonna be mad as long as you're in our Patreon.
Right. Yeah, Rick, obviously. Pearl Forrester isn't even like my third favorite fictional Pearl.
Wow. Give another one to Rick.
4-1.
All right, 4-1.
Sorry,
Rick
Pearl.
Sanchez knocks out Pearl Forrester. 4-1. Doc Brown versus Dexter.
Gotta go Doc Brown.
I will say something we didn't bring up at all. Pretty fucking impressive that Dexter's like 10 years old. Like,
Sure.
True.
like
Boy genius.
Dexter is a child.
I'm gonna go ahead and get my vote in here. I am gonna be a Dexter vote.
Why is that?
Ooh, not very often we get a why.
So a lot of people grew up with Back to the Future. I didn't. I actually watched them for the first time last year, and I love them. But I don't have that sense of nostalgia that a lot of people do. And I think they're great movies. But like for me, going back to old Dexter episodes and discovering that yes, most of them hold up. They're all really, really good even now.
Who talks the funniest? Doc Brown?
They both talk pretty funny.
Oh, I think Dexter gets annoying. Doc Brown's
Here's
voice.
the
I could listen to
thing.
Doc
I
Brown.
love
He's not
kids with
wrong.
funny accents.
He's not wrong.
And just think about Rick Sanchez versus Doc Brown in the next round. You don't want to see that? You don't want to see that?
I'm a Doc Brown vote.
I'm a Dexter vote.
It's 2-2. It's down to me. Can anyone remind me real quick which of these two teamed up with the Blue Falcon and Dynamite? Might be getting it confused there.
God.
Does anybody
There's
know
a whole
off the top of your
episode.
head?
There's a whole episode where Dexter has to sneak back into a school, and it's a whole Die Hard ripoff.
Go Dexter's Family Go. I'm a Dexter vote.
I fucking love Dexter.
Dexter knocks out Doc Brown 3-2.
Yikes.
All of them pretty close. Lex Luthor versus Rusty Venture.
So Lex Luthor's like what Rusty could be.
If he's what Jonas would have been if Jonas had like an enemy.
But
Yeah,
that's the
like-
thing though, that like, I don't know, it's the thing is, like, we're speaking in like absolutes, whereas Venture Brothers is like very complicated.
That's
like,
true. There's not really anybody in Venture Brothers who's outright like full blown evil.
Like Jonas is very much everything we've seen has been led to believe is that Jonas is very much a good guy in terms of like bad guy good guy relationship.
We're talking about Jonas Jr.
Yeah, JJ.
No, I mean Jonas.
Oh,
Sr.
Dad.
Jonas, no,
Jonas Sr. is a good. He's fighting villains.
So you're saying good guy in the comic
in his
sense.
private life is like a total fucking jerk.
Yes.
But as a career scientist, he's a good guy. He's making gargantuan. Well, one, he's doing things that benefit mankind. He's building things that are only for the benefit of the world.
At the same time, there's evidence that he's exploited people to do that. Like,
where Lex will exploit anybody to get.
That's true. Lex is
but
a ruthless
Lex's
dude.
motivations are selfish.
Well, you can go back and forth on that because in one sense he's this racist who wants to get rid of the guy who's not like us, and that's selfish. But on the other hand, he's a guy who believes that humanity can achieve more.
Yeah, he believes that, but I think that comes from a like flawed.
Well, it comes down to which interpretation of Lex you believe.
I think Lex likes to champion the idea of man above Superman, but at the end of the day, when you hold his feet
he's
to the
just
fire,
jealous. At the end of the day,
like,
that seems to be what the writing always comes down to.
Yeah.
I mean, my argument still stands with the Rusty Venture. I don't think
I need a vote.
I like Rusty, but I think conceptually Lex is the better character.
Better mad scientist, as far as I'm concerned. I'm a Lex Luthor vote.
Rusty is the better character, but Lex Luthor is the better mad scientist.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
I think that's true, and I'm gonna go Lex Luthor.
Yeah, Lex Luthor.
I'm just gonna throw one to Rusty. I'm not letting y'all get a.
He
swing.
deserves one little.
That's a Rusty ass vote, right?
Sure,
there.
That's true.
Lex Luthor knocks out Rusty Venture 4-1. Last one of round 2. Princess Bubblegum versus Professor Farnsworth. Both made a bubblegum.
I'll go ahead and get my vote in real quick for you guys. I'm a Farnsworth vote.
I'm a bubblegum.
Jesse,
vote.
this is one of those votes that Jesse would regret so much if
I
he
absolutely
would just watch.
But I can't vote.
Because you know Jesse would be a bubblegum guy.
Yeah.
I just remembered how when Bubblegum gets really mad, she starts like ranting in German.
Yeah,
It's so
she
great.
speaks German.
It's so
I probably love that show.
When you're
Here's the thing.
eons old, like, yeah.
We know Bubblegum can survive if you kick her out of her kingdom and take away her technology.
That's true. We've seen her farm.
Professor Farnsworth is going to be... Farnsworth almost dies from walking down the stairs every day. Bubblegum is tough. Bubblegum can take a more, like, varied life, whereas Farnsworth...
One is a lot.
Farnsworth's supposed to have been dead. Remember the, like, death robots come for him?
I mean, one of the best episodes when they go to that youth pool. I mean, when they have to get the guitar. And, like, Zoidberg keeps reverting back to number 4.
I mean, not only that, but Bubblegum has really built an empire. Like,
sure,
she's implemented all, or at least a lot of the science that she's come up with.
Farnsworth has multiple doomsday devices.
Yeah, that's true.
In the days of my wild youth, my IRC log off message was with my last breath I curse Zoidberg.
That's pretty good.
Doesn't Farnsworth make like super mutant basketball players, right?
Yes, he does.
I need votes.
I'm a bubblegum, but I love
Bubblegum.
Farnsworth's great. Farnsworth rules, but
Colin?
I'll Farnsworth because I love both of these.
Farnsworth makes me giggle more.
Professor Bubblegum moves on forward,
knocking out Princess
Farnsworth 3-2. Semifinals: Rick Sanchez versus Dexter and Lex Luthor versus Princess Bubblegum.
This is a good ass semifinal.
This is a good ass semifinals.
It should be Doc Brown, but come on, this isn't a vote.
It should be Doc Brown, but if it were Doc Brown, Rick Sanchez would so clearly defeat Doc Brown.
And I think he's going to here. Rick Sanchez versus Dexter.
Here's the thing. I
I
love Dexter.
just want to let everyone know, I'm going to look up a list of Dexter inventions, because I need to know what...
Oh.
I want to know some of the wild stuff he's made. I know the wild stuff Rick has made.
Rick Sanchez invented a micro-universe to power his car.
So yeah, I'm sorry. That's better than anything Dexter
Remember when Dexter was introduced to the magic of music?
Right.
Yeah, the thing is...
You remember when Rick made the Rick dance?
Dexter has had a musical.
That's true.
Rick had made the Rick dance.
There's the Rick dance. There's Tiny Rick with
come on.
I just need to know what Dexter has made.
I'm dying in a vat in the garage, John. Jesse, I need a vote.
Let me out!
I kind of want to hear what these inventions are.
Let me out.
Yeah.
This
Someone
is
get me a
not
list
a
of
dance.
Dexter inventions.
John's slowly pulling it up.
I'm looking at it. I'm just seeing if I can find some that like stick out. Especially.
He made a robot to be better at basketball in school, so he wouldn't get so he'd be picked for teams.
He made that parrot. That
Was that
gonna-
before or after the robot that he made for dodgeball? Lame.
Or was it Was it dodgeball? I think it was dodgeball.
Yeah.
He made
Some ball
a
sport.
helmet to inject all of the French language into his head.
Yeah,
He
But
made-
it skipped, so we only had omelette du fromage.
He sure
He made that.
Thrilling evidence.
Sorry, I just had it. And
He made Dee Dee smarter than him, and that got him really mad.
That episode where he's dumb is probably my favorite episode because he hangs out with these 90s ass teens and they call him Piglet.
Oh yeah, but you're wrong. The best episode is the one that's written by that
The
8-year-old
7-year-old girl?
Yeah.
The one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The
With,
one that's just Mandark.
Computress.
I don't know.
Computress or something like that. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Vote for
can we
Rick
please
already,
vote?
please!
Yeah, it's Rick.
Yeah, I love Dexter more than most Cartoon Network shows, but I gotta vote Rick.
Rick. Alex.
Wubba lubba dub dub.
There it is.
Wow,
It's a sweet.
sweet.
Is that the
Very
first
sweet.
sweep?
Yep.
Very
Rick
sweet.
Sanchez sweeps out Dexter to earn its spot in the finals. Lex Luthor versus Princess Bubblegum.
Hot damn.
This is a matchup.
Oh, this
No,
is,
it's
this,
not.
This is what
This
this
is
show
an-
exists for.
This is easy.
Really?
This is very easy.
Who are you
Why
leaning?
is this easy?
One of them is almost immortal.
Well, I mean, Luthor exists in Red Sun. He lives for hundreds and hundreds of years.
I don't see how that makes them a better character.
You're just asking me a point. Look, Princess Bubblegum, a better mad scientist, funnier, cuter. And
Animated series Lex Luthor is a
He's
sexy
very.
boy.
Y'all
he
can-
is.
y'all can say
He got
what you
that
want.
voice.
Princess Bubblegum fucking rules, and if you vote against her, you're wrong.
I don't know anything. I don't.
I'm just
when
putting
I
that
think
out
of
there.
mad scientist, I think someone who toes the line of morality, and I'm sure Princess Bubblegum does that. But Lex Luthor
Tried
is
to
more.
kill Finn's
Princess Bubblegum
girlfriend.
does that.
I think out of everyone on this list, if we're talking about who is the maddest, you've got to go with Lex Luthor.
Yeah, their intentions are defined by how flawed of a person they are, and I think Lex defines that better.
So you're a Luthor vote?
I'm a Lex vote.
Colin, you're a Bubblegum vote?
Bubblegum, that's not a chance. I'm sorry.
1-1.
I get it. Lex is cool. I like Lex.
This is. I think this is a genuinely tough match.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a very good match.
Yeah.
I have a lot of reasons for voting the way I'm voting, but the one I want to say is I'm way more interested in where PB's story's going. Adventure Time's still airing. We're gonna get an
That's
Adventure
a
Time
good point.
movie.
Yeah.
Adventure Time's gonna come to an end. We're gonna see we're gonna see an end to the arc of all these characters. Lex Luthor's gonna live in a cycle of repeating the same stories, and someone will eventually do a new idea every once in a while with him. I'm a PB vote.
Yes, a continuum of cartoon fools, to quote Dexter.
I just think even the stuff with, this last season, this Marceline stuff. Varmints is one of the best episodes of that show. And if you can't sit and watch that and tell me that Lex Luthor's better, I'm sorry. I don't get it.
Alex, where's your vote?
Well, you see, the point brought up earlier that Princess Bubblegum can live forever, whereas Lex Luthor is just a regular guy. That's what makes Lex Luthor the better scientist. He's a scientist to his core. Bubblegum's got this whole magic thing going on.
No, but she does magic and regular science work.
In a Dr. Doom
Doom
sense.
But
Yeah.
the weird thing, Princess Bubblegum doesn't believe in magic.
Right, yeah, she believes in science. Yeah.
I'm going Luthor.
It's 2-2. It's down to me. I can't remember a tougher matchup in bracket history.
We've had tougher.
Not for me personally.
But this
I
is
think
way up
This is
there.
really good.
I 100% understand if Bubblegum takes this. It sounds like that show builds a lot of really complicated characters that are well written.
So I know
Luthor isn't always well written.
this is a tough. This is something we kind of frown upon in terms of decisions.
I want to say something. We've brought up other scientists in here who have made a man. Princess Bubblegum has brought life to a lot.
She made a civilization.
She made an entire race of candy people, but she made Lemon Grab. She made the Lemon Kingdom.
She did make lemon grab.
lemon grab.
She made that like guardian who has to like his whole life is just to sit there and watch the other.
Yeah.
Like,
So did she do all that because she could? That's it.
Goliad, right?
some of it, yes.
As
not
long
all
as
of
we're
it.
talking about guys who make weirdos, can I give a shout out to Finster from the Power Rangers?
Hey,
It's
look, your favorite character is Louis Kaboom. I understand, okay? And I know who Louis Kaboom is,
People,
so we're
please
good.
stop
okay?
asking Alex Jaffe, who is very, he's
For
made
the
it
love of God,
very
it's
well
getting
known.
too much.
Poor Louis.
Every time I go online, just dozens of people ask me who my favorite
Just
Power
a
Rangers are.
swamped inbox saying,
getting
Alex, we gotta know.
I mean, it comes down, for me, it comes down to what are the motivations for what they do. And Lex Luthor is a petty guy who believes in an idea that he doesn't actually 100% believe in, versus Bubblegum, who seems like she just wants to explore and learn as much as she can. And it's down to you. Like I can't
it's
say
down
which
to
one's
me. I'm going bubblegum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really tough one.
Peebles!
All right.
Peoples.
Princess Bubblegum knocks out Lex Luthor 3-2 to take her step into the finals. But first up, we got a bronze match. We got Dexter versus Lex Luthor.
Oh, this is easy.
I mean, the thing is, I think Mandark grows up to be a Lex Luthor, too, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what happens to Dexter. I don't know who Dexter
Well, we see
becomes.
Dexter becomes like...
Sure. But that's only because of the bad Mandark
Oh,
future.
right,
like, we
right.
don't...
Jesse, we gotta get your vote first.
I'm going to give a vote to Dexter. I don't want to dump him.
Wow.
I'm a Lex vote.
Dexter's been in a toilet before. I don't want him to go back.
Dex versus Lex, everybody.
Lex, yeah.
Yeah, I'm voting Lex.
I'm going Lex as well.
Wow.
Dexter gets dunked.
All right. Lex Luthor takes third place, while Dexter sitting in some water of some kind. Rick Sanchez versus Princess Bubblegum for your Mad Scientist
Who
finals.
could have
Pretty
seen
bracket
this
ass
coming?
finals.
Yeah.
Buckle up,
This
everybody.
is really hard.
Hey guys, this is cartoons for you.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't think this is very hard. I'm going to vote Rick Sanchez.
Wow.
Oh, really? Because
Oh.
I think I want to vote Princess Bubblegum, and here's why. Rick Sanchez is a parody of a mad scientist, whereas Princess Bubblegum is the real thing.
Parody or not, he's still a complicated ass character.
So is Princess
Jesse, you
Bubblegum.
need to watch Adventure Time because
I guess
Princess
how many
Bubblegum
times
really
has
will
someone
end
said
up.
that to me?
You don't get
Like,
it.
I know I
Here's
don't
the
get
thing
it.
is we haven't gotten enough of Rick to know
And the thing
everything.
is, knowing you, I know you
You-
will be more
Yeah,
personally
you will-
endeared
you will.
and like Princess Bubblegum
Yeah,
more.
you're going to be really embarrassed about this episode.
Colin brings up a point that we haven't seen a ton of Rick's
Like,
stuff, but
the-
that second season finale with like the wedding.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
that stuff-
All of that season stuff, like Rick was a shitty dick that entire second season. Versus the first season, he was a dick, but he was kind of like, he's a shitty dick in that second season. And then at the end,
he
we
takes
get a
Morty
lot.
and Summer out for ice cream.
Right, he does. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot in that second season, especially the ending, that throws everything that we know about Rick. We're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, we need to know more
Sure,
about Rick.
that's true.
I don't think we know enough about Rick.
The idea that Rick would willingly submit spoilers, everybody. That Rick would willingly submit himself to law enforcement, like galactic time space law enforcement. It's interesting. I will say, I don't think whichever of these win, Justin Roiland can't be upset because he's also Lemon Grab.
Right.
This is his mom.
True. I guess.
I'm gonna come in and go bubblegum. Just because I don't. If I think about it, I'll sit here and die.
That's what is happening to me right now.
Well, you can either vote now, or I can break the tie, and you can sit here for another 10 minutes.
I mean, I know who's going to win this, so just go ahead and seal it.
I don't think any of us know right now yet. Jesse.
I think we do.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah, we know.
Do we?
Yeah.
I don't know, John.
Colin,
Do
if
we?
you already know what you're going to vote.
Yeah, Colin.
I'm waiting on John. I'm literally, because I'm not letting John do this. John will sit there for an hour.
I need.
He's
votes.
sitting there for an hour now.
Why?
He's going to do this whether or not I
But
vote.
if you already know how you're voting, it sounds like it.
You know what? I wasn't going to vote. I was going to go vote PB. I'm going to vote Rick. So there you go. Now I can. That's exactly what
John, which of these two is the best mad scientist? Princess Bubblegum or Rick Sanchez?
Both of these rule.
There's no wrong answers
Yeah,
here.
The thing is, I don't think I can judge it on that question, because I think they've both proven they're the best of the 16 we had mad scientists. So now I just have to rack my brain about what else can I weigh them against each other with.
But, again, the way bracket works is we're determining an absolute hierarchy of all things. When someone asks us what the best mad scientist is, we can't say the second place entry.
Oh, shit. Yeah, then you gotta say Rick.
Yep. I mean, you can change your vote, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm changing my vote.
There it is.
Wow.
I'm a Princess Bubblegum vote.
Okay. Wow.
What
Okay.
the fuck just happened?
All right.
Wait, what happened? What just?
I was
Jaffe changed his vote.
intimidated by the long-reaching implications of bracket, and I was intimidated into changing my vote.
Yeah.
On the street, who the best mad scientist is, I'm gonna have to say Rick.
I've never been more blindsided by the events of a final round.
There we go, everybody. The best mad scientist is Rick Sanchez of Rick and Morty. Second place is Princess Bubblegum. Third place is Lex Luthor. Dexter is Dirty Toilet Water.
That sounds like the name of an episode.
Sure, yeah. Dexter is Dirty Toilet Water. Yeah. So that happened.
That happened.
Or like DD toilet water.
Nice.
No.
Javy,
No, that was bad.
thank you for coming back on.
Anytime.
Yeah, and you got stuff? Let's hear it.
Yeah, I got stuff. I got a book coming out. It's called Bartkira Nuclear Edition. It's a selection of some of the best pages from the ongoing Bartkira project, which is some insane endeavor to remake every panel of Katsuhiro Otomo's manga Akira, but with Simpsons characters in Neo Springfield, and we've got hundreds of artists working on it, and it's pretty nuts. And we're like doing this like international art gallery tour for some reason, we've been raising a lot of money to for Otomo's home prefecture in Japan, which got a lot of damage from the 2011 reactor deal. That's been really cool, raising money for that, and I'm really proud of it, and my name's right on the book.
Yeah.
So you can go to my co-editor's webpage, jamesharvey.bigcartel.com, and order a book.
There you go.
It's all proceeds go to good places, so that's fun. You could also check out my comic book review blog, comicroulette.com, that most, if not all, of Bracket is going to write for at some point.
John is shaking his head now. I write for it regularly. Jesse's writing for it
I will
now.
be.
Cullen has a review coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fun. The premise is that I have a database of every comic that's legally available right now, and I randomly select from it, and writers get assigned a comic they don't know what it's going to be. It could be literally anything, and they have a week to read it and review it and put it on the site, and it's been real fun for like a year now.
Yeah, had a good time with that.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you again.
Please, next time you need a guy, I'm going to be your guy.
Next time we destroy an episode.
Right, next time I forget to record your dialogue.
All right, guys. As always, you can find us at bracketpodcast.com, on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram as BracketCast. If you like and subscribe to us on iTunes or whatever podcast client you do use, just search for Bracket.
Hello, dear and sweet friends. I'm back. I didn't ruin this episode for the most part. I mean, not in any way that I usually don't. And I'm here to read you the Patreon update, because that's what I do at this point in the show. Of course, as always, Bracket is brought to you with the dear contributions of Nick Driver, Andrew Kennedy, Jeff Criswell, Brandon, Keiko, Gabriel Silva, Will Kosleka, Eden Porter, Tom Nemsek, Zeppa Wharf, Michael Zavala, Lindsay, Anarchy Marie, Kayla Smith, GX Barnett, Steve Palantaruti, and of course Kobats. So thank you guys so much. I'm sure everybody's been seeing the shirts that we've finally got going. We have more shirt designs in the pipeline right now. We have prints, including a Best Way to Die print that I'm really happy with, that I made, and a Drunk Uncle vs. Goth Cousin print. You'll be able to get those $10 each or 2 for $15. They look really good. We have them hung up in the studio. And if you want, we'll draw all over them. We'll distress them. We'll draw on the back. We'll autograph them. Whatever you want. People who ordered the Don't Tread on Me anime shirt, those will be coming out this week. We are going to do a second print run of those because they sold out in 2 days. Very exciting stuff. So I'm going to let everyone get back to the show. I love you. Good night and good luck. Wait, shit, that's already taken. Peace out, Horse Dog Maniac.
And somebody told me we had a phone number.
Who told you we had the phone number?
I gotta hear more of this guy.
I like the telephone. Who told you we had the phone number?
Adam Sandler.
we have a phone number. It's 323-676-5265. It's 323-SO-JANK.
Oh, so jank.
Oh, so jank. That's what it is.
Oh, so jank. Who is the phone number?
Are you the guy from Home Movies who hangs out with McGurk sometimes? Oh, you got a phone number.
Well, maybe we should listen to a message or two.
That sounds like a good idea.
Please leave a message after the tone. When you are finished, you may hang up or press 1 for special options.
Hey, it's the Queen of Anime. Listen, I was very disappointed with the performance of Sora in last week's episode. I thought we agreed that in exchange for the entirety of a Best Buy anime aisle, that I provide to you all the anime entries would win their respective brackets. So I'm looking forward to next week when the protagonist of Aunt Katara Uchikoshi's punchline dominate the bracket for best fan service. Don't fuck up again, guys. I promise I can make those DVDs just disappear and break into two of many parts and send all those shots into your eyes and tender flesh. So don't disappoint me, okay? Alright, bye.
Doing a professional radio show on the internet, on the internet, on the internet, on the internet, on the internet.